media optimization, by the way. Search engine optimization is making your content easy to find on search engines. Social media. So I want you to talk about any strategy that you adopted to improve the chances of people coming across your investigation. Okay? And if you haven't had any strategy, you've got a few weeks still to be thinking about that and implementing that. Okay? Along the same lines, how have you thought about community management or engagement, particularly for the community managers, obviously? So how have you interacted with those communities and built up relationships, trust, reputation, access, case studies, expertise, leads and so on? And then or anything, I guess, privacy, things like that, anything that your investigation brings up. And ethics, so again, privacy, things like that. So the students in the sex industry, for example, might raise particular ethical issues in terms of how you go about finding the information, how you go about reporting on individuals, things like that. Okay. Royalty-free sources of multiple. Anyone else? Yeah. Anyone else multimedia or editor?
Me a 4-month placement on their foreign desk, so it all kind of, these things kind of stack up. And then from when I started there, I was applying for jobs, local media, regional media, graduate training schemes. I was looking at English language papers abroad, just seeing what I could get. And I was accepted onto the Telegraph scheme in April last year. So we've spent, there's 7 of us this year, and not all of us have got, one came straight from the city, few others of us, we've got some journalism background, but not all of us. So there is a variety in how you can get into it. And we've spent, 7 weeks training up in Howden, 2 months working as general reporters for the Press Association, 5.5 months working for a regional paper scattered all over the country. And next week, 2 weeks' time, we start at the Telegraph itself in Victoria, and we rotate around different desks from now until December. And then we're all hopeful that in December we'll get offered some kind of permanent contract somewhere within the paper. So it's been a good training scheme, I have to say. It's been great getting the opportunity to come to a regional paper and cut the teeth and learn the trade. So that's me. I'm happy to answer any questions as I go around. I don't care how small or how stupid you might think it sounds. It's usually better than not asking. So I guess I'm here for about an hour, I think. So
yeah, I was going to suggest that because Jess has got quite a bit of experience on the data and FOI side of things, and she's been doing some stories with the Birmingham Mail and post around it's FOI and parking tickets and things like that. After Jess has circulated a bit, in about 20 minutes, half an hour, the data journalists and probably some of the editors might want to have a chat over coffee as a kind of workshop about that side of things specifically, and anyone else who's interested in data and FOI as well is obviously welcome. But yeah, any general questions before Jess circulates? Okay, actually I wanted to ask the 4 months, 4 weeks at the Sunday Times?
4 months.
4 months. Was that paid?
It was, I got some travelling food, basically. Yeah. I mean, I was lucky in that my parents lived in London, so if I hadn't had that, it would have been a real struggle. And it depends if you've got pensions. But internships are a difficult one to handle because it's becoming more and more necessary to get experience, because it's only through getting experience that you have something to talk about at interviews to prove that you've got the skills, or not even the skills, but you've got the right attitude and you've got the curiosity. But I'm not a fan of unpaid internships. I think you should get paid at least something for your, at least travel costs to get there and back. I mean, I was kind of just doing odd jobs and waitressing and babysitting to get some spending money. But but yeah, I'm not. That's not easy, especially if you don't have contacts in London. But look for somewhere close by. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the national. It doesn't have to be. It could be the Birmingham Post, it could be the Birmingham Mail. It could be somewhere close to home. It could be a hyper-local blog. It could be something. Just something. It's giving yourself something to talk about in an interview more than anything else. It's giving yourself the chance to publish a story or work on a story that you can push across the table and say, I'm really proud of this. This is how we did it. This is what I learned from it. And it's having that it's being able to talk rather than just to sit there and they go, so why do you want to be a journalist? And you just think, well, sounds cool. It's having something practical to give to them at the same time. So yeah, it's not an idea, especially at the minute, because papers are struggling. But there are, especially all the new bloggers and everything that's coming out, there are ways, I think, to do it. And just getting it proves you've got the right attitude to be a journalist in the first place. So.
Okay, do you want to get in your investigation groups then and work on this headline and the ingredients? Me, Jess and Caroline will mooch around. Meanwhile, I'll have a look at work on screen as well.
Please don't take this wrong. We worked with G4S and it came out short. They were really, the G4S were really strict on safety, making sure that the area was safe. And I thought it was a bit, so yeah, there were some across loads of stories about what being really unsafe. Yes, G4S, so we're basically the sort of standard there's been quite a lot of articles saying that they've been treated badly with their care, especially at prison, so we're looking to try and
I'm not clear what G4S is.
It's saying that it's one of the leading security companies. It's doing the security for the Olympics.
Okay.
And it's taken over quite a lot because it's level 6. So, and HMP Birmingham was the first that went from being government run to be privatised.
Okay.
So they basically want to start running prisons.
Okay.
Privately instead of, I think that's their sort of aim. Okay. And yeah, we're basically looking into how people are treated under so staff, prisoners, anybody that is in any way related to G4S.
Okay.
How they're treated by them.
So how it's changed from when it was government to when now what they're like about.
We did look at that as part of what we looked at, but to be honest, our focus has changed pretty much. We started off doing education, and then in the second week we went completely over from home. So this week we really need to decide on that.
Can you give me what you found in the headline? Or if you're pitching, if you're now, if I was your you say, right, this is it.
I saw the tweet,
Because Anita did an interview with somebody who works for G4S, and he said that one of the main things about it was they pushed safety for their employees, like the area that they worked in had to be safe, people within that area had to be safe, and yet there's been quite a lot of claims that people are dying in their care, people are being treated badly, so it's sort of like really critical that they're pushing safety and people are actually not very safe.
So they're breaking promises, or so they promised to improve safety and it's not. Is that bad? Is that worse than what it's like in the government system?
Is that
You keep doing that. You've got a lot of other stuff to do though. So if you send it to Keisha,
and it can be like a bit of a, because if you've got stuff that you post out, so it's out there, yeah, put it in your evaluation, say that you did it, say that, not blatantly, but like, just say that like, I worked with Keisha once I do it, so if you swap email addresses, because I don't know, because if you both do it, then you're going to lose out the fact that we have a community as well. But you've got loads of stuff to do though, you've got like literally loads of stuff.
YouTube account has sent me a message. But he's a photojournalist from America who went to Cuba and he filmed like a short documentary about prostitution in Cuba.
Is it an is it an individual production or is there a company, even a small independent company that's produced?
I'm not sure, but it seems like an individual. I'm not quite sure.
If there's any kind of company or group, then you can try and find contact details for that group and they might put you in touch with someone else. Because the director or the producer is likely to be busier than the researcher. And the researcher is actually who's going to be more interested to talk to. But make sure, obviously, it ties back into your investigation. I think the stuff you had about the report is likely to be more relevant, even though it's older. So, yeah, I mean, if the authors of that might have something to say about what you've been finding in your investigation, then that's going to put it this way, it's likely to be included in that final kind of long-form report of your investigation.
Oh yeah, with regards to the feminist angle you told me to look at, I'm not quite sure what I should look at. Should I look at, let's say, theorists, like feminist theorists? Is that something I should look at, or is there something specific?
No, I think in a nutshell, you want to speak to a respected expert on feminism. Ideally, someone who's an expert on feminism and sex work, and you need to speak to them and get their response to the issues that you're uncovering. You don't want second-hand general stuff. You want an original quote that's going to say, you know, Andrea Jones said that this was X, Y, and Z, you know, and she's responding directly to the facts that you're presenting in this investigation. Yeah.
Are you allowed to take a quote from, let's say, a documentary? Because he does it in more of he narrates from time to time.
Well, you can do, but it's not going to be very good. That's the problem you've got. If you think of the final piece of work that your group is going to produce, you're going to have, you know, here's an individual story. This is why it's important more widely, and here's what the experts say about it. It needs to be talking directly to you. It needs to be original information rather than information that's been published or broadcast somewhere else about something else. Even if it's similar, it's something else. You want it to relate directly to you and your investigation.
I was also looking into his website, and I found he's got like more like a blog where he talks to people who've watched this.
Yeah.
So some people offended by it from Cuba and stuff. So
you could try and post in a comment and pointing him to your work and say.
I think that's the difference. I think it's not about sponsorship, it's what you are at the level.
Then another one I was reading about thinking working on is how going on Twitter saying, last driving my BMW, even though they're sponsored by BMW, and how much they've been paid to points on Twitter.
That's a very simple one. Yeah, how social media is I would literally now find the person for someone, give them that. I find whenever I deal with someone, anybody's doing any research around because as I say, it doesn't just it's friends with being to you.
they don't just teach you how to they teach you how physiology, business side of it, sponsorship, so we support that kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's